Okay.
There we go.
So, brakes never on, ever. That's the emergency button. You just twist it. Okay. This is the lever to make the legs wider.
Okay.
So when you'd want the legs wider is when you're going around a chair, if you want to put mum from bed to a commode. Okay. And that makes them narrower. Obviously this is the up-down button. So this is the mast, and this is what you call the spreader bar. And these hooks here are where you attach the sling to. Okay.
Oh, there's the instructions on here.
Yeah. But I have brought you simpler instructions as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you remove the rug, because it will make it easier to move.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is the smallest hoist we do. So I remembered you had low ceilings.
Yes.
What you're going to need to do is when you're hoisting, when mum's in bed, the bed's going to be on the lowest setting, isn't it?
Yes.
When you're putting the sling on, you'll need to bring the bed up so it's at your height, so it's easier for you to work at.
Okay.
But when you hoist her off the bed, what I would suggest you do is instead of going up with this straight away, lower the bed down, and then when the bed's down at its lowest point, then lift this up, because you haven't got a lot of room to manoeuvre really. Okay, any questions about the hoist?
No, none so far.
Okay, right. So that's the basic workings of the hoist.
Right.
Okay, you've got your wheels, big wheels at the back, small wheels at the front. It's not the easiest to manoeuvre, but I mean it's easy when nobody's in it.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Okay. Now in the bed, you've got the. Is this plugged in?
Yes.
Okay. You have got the backrest. Sorry about this pussycat.
Yes.
You've got the backrest. Where the cat's lying is more or less what you call the dropping point. You want to get mum's bottom
Just
on
there.
that point.
Right.
It will make it so much easier because
Yes.
you haven't got to move her up and down the bed. So also what it's important to bear in mind is when you're hoisting somebody either on or off the bed, it's best to do it from a sitting position. Nobody likes being hoisted from lying right flat down because the head's the heaviest part of the body. So if you're lifting her up from lying straight into sitting, it's gonna distress her.
Okay.
So if you make sure she's sat up, got used to that, then attach her to the hoist, and then drop the bed down to the lowest point, and then start lifting the hoist up. Okay, so that's that bit. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the slings. I think I've got you two different sizes, but I'm not sure.
This needs to be 4 bags of slings.
Yeah,
together.
the yellow ones are the medium and the red ones are the small.
She's going to need small, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let me just show you the medium. They're both the same styles. Okay. Right, so this is the main body of the sling here.
Okay.
This bit with the label and the
That's on the back.
loop goes on the back on the outside, never against the skin. So it's always on the back,
Right.
like that. That label, you're aiming to get it in the centre of the back, down the spine.
Yeah.
Okay. The top of the sling here, you're aiming to get at the shoulders.
Okay.
So what you want is an even distribution on both sides. Okay, and you want this bit around here on the sacrum.
Okay.
You don't want it up here,
No.
you don't want it down there.
Yeah.
It's going to go here, and then the aim is that comes round. Okay, so she's in a seated position.
Right.
Okay.
Would that stay on if we're putting her on the commode? Is it able to stay on? Is it a...
You want to unhook it from the hoist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would take it from underneath her legs while she's on the commode. How long is she on the commode for?
That depends what we're doing. So it might be more than 10 minutes.
If it's for a short period of time, if it's easier to leave the sling in, that's fine, but I mean a really short period of time.
Okay.
These aren't designed to be left in situ.
Okay.
They'll cause pressure sores if they're left in situ.
Okay.
Okay, they're just, I mean, they're you know, they're
Yeah.
okay for 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes, but
No more than that.
depends on your mum's skin really.
Yeah.
Has she got any sores at all?
She hasn't, but she's certainly in danger. She's got no flesh underneath
Right,
the skin.
okay. So you also need to be really careful when you're positioning this, that you try and lift her limbs up rather than yank this underneath.
Yeah.
So, okay. Right, so this is the sling. These are the loops that attach to the spreader bar. Now, if you're putting the sling on your own and you're hoisting on your own, the easiest way to put the sling on is when somebody's in a seated position, because all you've got to do is get them to lean forward and you can drop the sling down behind the back.
Yeah.
Whereas if she's lying flat, you've got to roll her and it's going to be more difficult with two people. So, it would be best to kind of demonstrate to you how to fit the sling.
Okay.
Have you got a chair at all?
Very accessible. They're not. Well, here. I mean, could we do it here?
Yeah. Just imagine you've got something behind you, the back of a chair or commode or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do it on me?
I am, and then you can do it on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I turn that? Just.
Yeah.
Get that over here.
Okay. So if you, Mum will be on the bed. Will you get her sitting up, or will she be leaning back?
Hopefully she'll be sitting up.
Will she sit up on her own?
She can do it at the moment a bit.
Right.
She couldn't last week, but we got the drugs down slightly and she's very improved.
So
for
she
that.
might be leaning back. You might have to sit
Yeah.
forward. But basically, so you're dropping the sling down the back, okay? So you can feel it on shoulders, and then what you want to do, excuse my hand, but you'll want to check that it's tucked under a little bit underneath the bottom, okay? And then what will you do? You want to lean back, because if you're doing it on her own, you're going to need to keep that sling in place as much as possible, and you'll need to bring, and it'll be easier with that because that mattress will squash.
Okay, yes. Sure.
Okay, so you're going to, if you can lean over a little bit to the side, you're going to bring that round, up between the legs, you bring the other one round. Some loops. Sorry. Okay, if you go back. Okay. There. It's very important that the leg loops aren't twisted. Okay. And what you'll do is you'll cross them. Okay, so keep her legs together. Okay, and then it's ready to attach to the sling.
Got you.
Okay. And those are the shoulder
Those
loops.
would be over the shoulder so that
Yeah.
she's like cradled in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So
Great.
that's it essentially. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll sit on the edge of the bed. Right, what we want to do. One thing that you must be aware of is when you're hoisting somebody. Why isn't that moving? I don't know, am I attached to something?
Yes. Oh, the electrical cable. Okay.
Okay. You see the spreader bar swings around quite a
Yeah.
lot.
Watch hitting.
If you're hoisting somebody and you're bringing this in to where Mum is, she's not going to know what's going on, is she?
No.
This is a really scary thing to come towards your face because it'll come in like that.
Right.
Okay, what you need to be aware of, because what you're aiming for is you're aiming to get let's do it from the bed. So as you can.
Daisy, off you come. Come on.
No! No!
Come on.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're aiming to get the spreader bar around about here, so when it comes towards me,
it's going to be even with your head. Right.
It's going to hurt. You need to be really, really aware of that. The other thing is to be aware of her feet.
Kicking. Okay.
On here. Okay. Hoisting is really easy, believe it or not. It's very simple as long as you get it right. But it's very straightforward, but it's just doing it right and double checking before you do anything. It's very simple. Once you do it on a regular basis, it becomes second nature. But it's very scary when you've never done it before, or if you don't do it very often. So let's just put these here.
Okay. I might have to nip up quickly and just...
Yeah.
Won't be long. I'm going to put some lunch on. Won't be long.
Right. Okay. You don't mind me put my shoes on here, do you?
There's going to be sheets and things on that. That's quite comfy.
So can Mum sit forward?
Mum to sit forward a bit, yes. Like that. And this will go on. Like that. And just make sure that's a little bit under there. And then got the same one. There we are.
So what you need to do is kind of pull it through.
Pull it through and down and under a bit.
Yeah.
Right, so that's like that.
Yep.
And then pull that one through a bit.
Yeah.
Make sure it's smooth.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So you cross in, I'd cross it on the bottom one.
Below there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'll sit you up a bit and just make sure you've got that oar.
Okay. Right. So I'm ready to go. So do you want to bring the hoist in?
Right.
So you want to get that around about chest height.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. And then you want to drop this down. Now, does Mum, you think she might get panicky?
I think once she lifts off,
Right.
she might get she'll be all right up to this point.
Okay. Once she lifts off, she might get panicky. Okay.
She might do.
Right, okay. I think what we need to do then is, now, usually you hoist somebody in a sitting position, so you'd go what you call short on the shoulders. Now what I tend to do, just so I know which loop's going on, I kind of separate them down.
Yeah.
Okay, and you only use these two hooks, you don't use that one.
Okay.
So you clip it in so it's completely clicked in. Okay. Okay, and then on the legs, you want to go long on the legs, so that you go for the longest loop. And again, click them in. Okay, now what you want to do before you ever hoist anybody up is always just double check that it's the same loop for the shoulders and the same loop for the legs, and they're completely hooked in. It's just worth double checking, because sometimes when you're in a hurry or if mum's getting distressed, it's easy not to do it properly.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So there you go.
Check,
Hooked
check,
in.
check.
Make sure mum's arms are in, or she can hold on to here as long as she's not kind of doing that. But make sure that her arms are in. Okay.
Check the bed down.
Yep. Okay.
And then I'm going to...
And you don't need it to do it with me, but obviously with mum, just talk to her all the time.
Obviously
Yeah.
soothe her. Don't worry, this is fun.
Yeah. This is fun. It's
I'll
fun.
be having a lovely
It's
time
lovely,
today.
we're
Look
in a
at this.
swing.
This is like a lovely game. The fact that's a bit crumpled under there, does that?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then we're doing up, 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 up into the
Up,
sky.
up, up, up. Okay. Mum's a lot smaller than me anyway, isn't she?
She
She's
is.
tiny. Okay, that's high enough. Okay.
Righty-ho.
Being hoisted isn't the most comfortable sensation. It's tight here on my legs. It's slightly
Cutting.
painful and slightly cutting. That is the nature of what's happening.
About that,
So
yes.
what you'll need to do is, obviously, now I can swing myself around on this and I'm
Right.
perfectly safe. I'm okay.
Okay.
But what you'll need to do is, you'll see if you try and pull this back now, it's not light because I'm in it. You've got back problems as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm alright if I'm careful.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So
that's
what
not
you'll
bad.
need to be aware of is of mum's feet.
Swinging around and banging.
Swinging
against
around and banging.
things.
I'm okay because I can control it,
Yeah,
but
but
she'll need to be aware.
she'll be grabbing for this.
Yeah. So it
I'll tell her
might
to
be an
grab onto
idea.
this.
I don't know how she'd feel about being slightly reclined in it. It might freak her out, to be honest with you.
It would be worse for her, I'm sure.
Okay.
I
So-
think upright would be better for her.
Okay. So when you put her in the commode,
Yeah.
is it, just remind me, is it a wheeled commode?
It is wheel commode. Put the
Okay.
brakes on.
Put the brakes on, and what you're aiming to
Should I take the
do.
armrests off?
No, because you'll fall out.
Yeah.
What you're aiming to do is almost slide her down the back of the chair,
Yeah. Okay.
so her bottom gets right to the back of the chair. That's what you're aiming to do,
Right.
which is why it's easier with two people.
Yeah, I can see that.
But what you'll need to do is line
Leave it there.
everything up.
Get the chair in
Yeah.
at this point.
What you're trying to do is minimise how much you have to move this hoist.
Minimise. Right.
Yeah. So have it all set up ready, and then it's best to pull her back in the hoist, and then bring the commode in underneath there instead of kind of trying to.
Get
Move
it
the
all
hoist
yeah,
around.
yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. I see that.
So
So I might, yeah, get the commode in sideways.
Yeah.
And I'll have a bit more room to manoeuvre when this isn't there.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
then
good. I'm going to put you back in the bed now.
okay.
Move the commode out the way.
Yep.
And I'm going to go for the dropping point.
That's fine. And then what you can do is you can actually bring the bed up to meet
Yeah.
me.
That's a good idea. Let's turn you up and down. That bed
And then you could lower me. That's it. And then you could lower this down a little bit to relax. That's it. Keep going. And then you might need to bring the backrest up a little bit. So I'd bring the backrest up as far as it will go. Because don't forget, her head's going to be
dangling, isn't she?
Yeah. So that's okay. And then if you keep dropping this down.
Oh, it was quite groovy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Well, that's what my girl said to me today. She said it's very easy, but
you just have to. There's the basic principles that you have to get right. You have to know, and then obviously take this off, remove it from the hoist straight away. So the hoist is out of the way from a health and safety point of view for everybody. And obviously be aware of your toes when you're...
Yeah. Okay, well that's good enough away. Oh, it's got stuck on that cable again.
Okay.
Need to hang there. I'll leave that cable set, doesn't it?
Okay. So if you move that out of the way. Okay, and then obviously you need to remove.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can almost, if you get that bit underneath, and you can pull that under.
Okay.
It just makes it easier. And then again, pull it under, and then sit her up and pull it out.
Fantastic.
And that is it.
That's good.
It's very simple.
Can you do it to me so I know what it feels like?
Absolutely. Again, cross over. So we're aiming for round about here. Okay, so we double check. Short on shoulders, long on legs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down. Let's just lift that again. Okay, if you want to lean back against the bed, so that was it, drop it down. Okay, and go up at the same time. Can you see that the hoist is moving ever so slightly? You probably noticed it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just readjusts itself.
Oh.
It's not unpleasant, but it's not the most pleasant feeling, is it? It does pull on your legs slightly.
And your bum tends to fall through.
Yeah, which is why it's really important to have it here.
I think it's not quite there on me.
No, it's not. It's not quite far enough. But you can tell that by the fact that it's not. This bit isn't sitting on your shoulders.
Okay.
But you won't fall through it.
No.
Okay, you
This
can't.
is exactly like my old paragliding harness.
Is it?
I feel quite at home here.
Well, there you
It's
go.
Wheel me about the sky.
But
Okay.
you know how it feels, so you know how Mum will feel, and she might be.
She won't like the leg loops. They're going to hurt her.
There is another type of sling that does provide more support around the legs, which might be better.
We'll see how she goes on this. And
What I might do is order them for you.
Okay.
I won't do them on a next day or same day. I'll order them on a normal delivery.
Yeah.
And then you can phone up Millbrook if you feel that you need them.
Yeah. Okay.
They do fit slightly differently, but there will be instructions with them. But they do provide more support on the legs.
Yeah.
So I went for what I thought was the most straightforward sling to
Yeah.
fit. So,
Yeah, that's great.
okay. So there you go.
That's great.
Any questions at all?
I don't think so.
No, it is honestly, it's very simple and straightforward to do, as long as you get it, you know, the main things right, which make sure all the loops are attached.
Check them all, make sure they're the same ones.
Yeah, and make sure the brakes are off.
Watch the face with the thing.
Yeah.
Never have the brakes
Face
on.
and feet.
Yeah.
Basically, so again, you move this out of the way as quickly as possible,
Yeah.
because that's the most distressing thing, I think.
Yes, it's got caught in the wire again. I need to do that from here.
Hold on. There we go.
Mum's not in getting out of bed mode anymore,
Right,
but I'm worried she might roll out because she's not used to a narrow bed.
right. We don't generally provide cot sides, especially for people with dementia. The reason being is the risk of
Because they can climb
entrapment
out
and suffocation. What I would suggest you do is put the bed at the very lowest setting when she's in it.
yeah.
Because she's not aware of what's going on, what's happening with her, I would be very reluctant to put bed rails in.
Really? Okay, I mean what I find now is that she tends to reposition herself and then she'll get right over.
Right,
She uses that whole bed when she's getting
right.
sleepy and comfy, and she curls up and brings her knees up, and she...
Well, she'd be rammed up against the cot sides then, and that's risk of pressure sores and everything. I would rather
She fell off than...
get pressure sores. It's a catch-22.
It's burning. Sweet. Lunch. How many times?
Yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22 because if she rolls over and is touching the sides, even if they've got bumpers on, if she's up against them for a prolonged period of time, she's going to get a pressure sore.
Okay.
She's also at risk of suffocation. There's also a risk of entrapment, but you've got to weigh that up against the risk of her falling out of bed.
Yeah.
What I would do is put the bed at the lowest possible setting,
Absolutely.
and if you've got anything soft you can put on the floor if she were to fall out,
Yeah.
to cushion her landing.
Yeah, I'll do
I
that.
know it's not ideal.
If you think that's better than cot sides.
I think the cot sides are too risky. If she was
Really?
cognitively aware of what was going on around her, I wouldn't have an issue. But she's not, is she? She just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's anyone's guess, really, what she
Yeah.
It surprises me what she's actually...
But you're bringing her from a room she's familiar with.
It's going to be...
Yeah. Are you going to be sleeping down here with her? Yeah.
Been,
Yeah. If she does have a fall and you need to get her off the floor, you can do it with this. What you'll need to do is you will need to position the hoist. You'll need to get something underneath her head,
So she's lying between it there.
line between it, but she'll probably need to have her feet over this because she's going to need to be. Because if you think that's here, you're going to need it round about here. So she could be like that.
That's better because that's... Oh, the hoist can live there and then it
Yeah.
can come in because she'll fall
Yeah.
with her head at this
Yeah.
end.
So just be aware her feet will need to be over here. So, and this will need to come down to about here. So that's the way you'll do it.
Does it
So you
go
might-
down that low?
Yeah, it should do. You should be able to get somebody off the floor with these.
Yeah, I can see by the... yeah. Yeah, great. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh! Ow! Do you want a hoist?
Oh, I do.